Hello students, so today we are going to start with your phylum Coelenterata. The phylum Coelenterata is the second phylum of your kingdom Animalia, and this phylum is also commonly known as the Cnidaria, where C is silent in the spellings of this word. Then the common organisms which belong to this phylum are jellyfish, sea anemone, and the corals are there. So one of the picture of the jellyfish is shown over here also. So that belongs to your phylum Coelenterata. So let's begin with the characteristic features of this phylum. So if we talk about the characteristic features, these organisms are aquatic, mostly marine, they are sessile or free living. Sessile means that they remain attached with the substrate, they do not move, or free swimming, that means they are freely floating on the surface of water, and they show the radial symmetrical symmetry. So radial symmetrical animals means those animals which can be cut into the two equal halves, and the two halves are the mirror images of each other from any of the plane. For example, you can take look at this organism. This is the top of the organism, and you can cut this organism into two equal halves from any of the plane, this plane, this plane, or this plane, or this any of the plane. If you cut this organism, you will find the two equal halves of this organism. So that type of symmetry is called as the radial symmetry. Then these organisms, the cnidarians, they exhibit the tissue level of organization. So if we keep one thing in mind always, that when we are talking about the different phylums, we are automatically studying about the evolution also. So the porifera, they were having the cellular level of organization. Now this cnidarians, they exhibit the tissue level of organization, one step ahead to that, and are diploblastic. So the diploblastic, this term we had discussed earlier also in our topic, where we have discussed about the criteria, basic criteria for classification of animals. So here in these organisms, these are diploblastic. Diploblastic means that they develop their body from the two germ layers. When the organisms, they develop from during their embryonic stages, there are two germ layers or the embryonic layers which further give rise to the new organism. So they are diploblastic. Then they have a central gastrovascular cavity. There is a cavity inside the phylum Coelenterata, as we have seen in case of the porifera also. So this cavity is having a single opening. So if we are saying that it is having a single opening, that means the digestive system is incomplete type, and that single opening is known as the hypostome. So you can look at this organism. This is the opening. This is the one opening which is present in the at the top of these organisms, and this opening is called as the hypostome. Fine. So now let's talk about the digestion. So if we talk about the digestion, digestion is extracellular as well as intracellular. That means that can take place outside the cell as well as inside the cell. And some of the cnidarians, they also exhibit the corals like structure, and they are having the skeletal system which is composed of the calcium carbonates. I'll show you a picture of the coral coelentrates in the next slide. Now then, another important and the interesting feature exhibited by the phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria is that they exhibit the two basic body forms, that is called as the polyp and the medusa. So you can see here in this picture, these are the two stages of the life cycle of a single organism. This is the polyp and this one is the medusa. The polyp is the sessile and cylindrical. You can see it is written here. It is sessile and cylindrical like Hydra, Adamsia. This is Adamsia, and whereas the other one is umbrella shaped and free floating. So like we are having examples of Aurelia or the jellyfish, which is shown over here. So these two stages are of the same organism. That means the same organism show these two different stages at the different intervals of their life. So now we'll discuss in detail about these. So this phenomenon where the organism exhibits the two stages, that phenomenon is called as the polymorphism. Poly means many, morphism means morphological. So here the organism is showing the different morphological characters. So we call it as a polymorphism. We also call it as the alternation of generation. Alternation of generation means once it is showing the haploid and then it is showing the diploid organism. Fine. Then these organisms, this which exhibits this alternation of generation, this is called as metagenesis. Fine. So you can see with the help of this diagram, there are two alternate stages. This is the polyp, this is the medusa, and you can see the polyp. For example, your hydra is there. It can reproduce asexually, as we had done budding in hydra, that asexual can be there, as well as the polyps, they give rise to asexually to the structure which will change to the that your adult medusa, that means a jellyfish, and this structure is called as the ephyra. Ephyra is basically the larval stage of a jellyfish. So these ephyra are produced from the this polyp stage, and these adult jellyfishes, they can also reproduce asexually, or further they can reproduce sexually to give rise to the planula. Even these polyps also can reproduce sexually, and they also give rise to the planula. So the planula is the stage, or you can say the larval stage of the this polyp. That planula will further change to the polyp. So this phenomenon where the organism is exhibiting the two alternate stages, one is changing to the another and then another is changing to the first one again, the cyclic movement is going over there. So this is called as the alternation of generation or the metagenesis. Because normally the polyps, they reproduce asexually and the medusa, they reproduce sexually. So here we have example of Obelia, fine, example of Physalia, Portuguese man of war, Adamsia, sea anemone, Panatula. These are few of the organisms which exhibit this alternation of generation, and we also call it as polymorphism. So as I told you, poly means many, morphism means the different morphological characters. Now moving to the next very interesting feature about the phylum Coelenterata is there, that this phylum, the tentacles of these organisms, they are having the stinging cells. Fine. So to understand the concept of the stinging cells, let's come to this diagram. You can see here the tentacles are there. For example, hydra is there, and on these tentacles the stinging cells are present. You can see this is the enlarged view of a section of a tentacle, and you can see these V-shaped structures are present over there. So these V-shaped structure, one of the enlarged V-shaped structure is shown over here. This is the nidoblast. This is called as the nidoblast or the nidocyst, and this nidocyst is having, now look at the structure of this nidocyst carefully. You can find that here there is a trigger outside, and inside in the cavity of the nematocyst there is a coiled thread. Fine. So whenever any foreign organism or the prey or the food particles, they come over there, this trigger will be activated, and as a result of that, this coiled thread will come out from this nematocyst as it is shown in this stage, and it will capture, or it will kill its prey, and then finally capture that. So another important thing is the phylum Cnidaria is called as Cnidaria because they are having these nidoblasts, which are the stinging cells of this phylum. Fine. And these nidoblasts, they are present on the tentacles as well as on the body of the organism. And the nidoblasts, they are basically used for anchorage, defense, and for capturing the prey. So this is all about your phylum Coelenterata. Very interesting features are there in case of this phylum, and here is a picture of the coral members. As I told you that there are certain members which act as the coral reefs in case of the phylum Cnidaria. So that's all for the phylum Coelenterata. Have a good day.